Hello, this is Dr. Mike Brooks. I'm a licensed psychologist and the director of the Austin Psychology and Assessment Center, or ApaCenter. Today's video blog topic is reducing our suffering in life. So I was inspired by this quote that a client found me, and I thought it was a pretty juicy one. And since that time that my client told me it, I've talked to other clients about it, and I use it in my own life to inspire me and help me reduce my own suffering. So I'm going to tell you the quote, and it comes from a 19th century French novelist and playwright by the name of Balzac. And the quote is this: "Our worst misfortunes never happen, and most miseries lie in anticipation." So that quote again: "Our worst misfortunes never happen, and most miseries lie in anticipation." And there's a really deep truth to this quote. So first of all, yes, there's true suffering in life. Bad things happen. We lose our job, maybe our company downsizes, or our best friend moves away, or we fail exams and things like that. We get sick and break legs and all those sorts of things. So there's real suffering in life. There's no denying that. However, there's this other portion of suffering that's in our lives that is something that, in a way, it's completely unnecessary. And if we can learn to reduce it, then we can save our suffering for when it's truly needed, when some of those really bad things happen. So the needless suffering is worrying constantly about things that could happen but don't. And that's what the quote points to. So we may worry that we're going to lose our job, or that our girlfriend or boyfriend is going to break up with us, or that we're going to break our legs skiing, or it goes on and on. We have a presentation coming up, maybe in 2 weeks, in front of a class or at the company, and we're worried we're going to bomb the presentation and everybody's going to be laughing behind our backs or laughing at our face. And we envision these things, and when we do, they cause suffering. They cause real reactions. They release cortisol, a stress hormone in our bodies, and that causes inflammation. It suppresses the immune system. So just imagining these things happening cause us suffering. And in a way, it's endless, because we can be very imaginative, and we can keep coming up with all these scenarios of bad things happening. But if you look at your life and step back and you maybe made a list, you could probably list out all the times you worried or fretted over something, that you're going to miss your plane. Well, you didn't miss your plane. You got on it, and all the worry up to the airport and through getting your bags checked in and everything, you're worrying, fretting. You get on the plane, and it's like, oh, I didn't miss the plane. So in a way, all that suffering was completely unnecessary. And to me, this has become a meditation that I try to ask myself, and this can be maybe something that you try as well, is when you notice yourself getting stressed out, ask yourself, is this something I can do something about? If there is, go ahead and do it. Maybe there's extra preparations or things that you can do to prevent this negative outcome. But if there isn't, then our power resides in trying to let that go, trying to accept, okay, this is something outside of my control, and it's unlikely that anything really bad will happen. Maybe it won't turn out, just perfect or ideally, but it'll probably turn out okay, most likely, and we'll move on with our lives and leave it behind. And if you can start to do this in your own life, is differentiate things that truly merit suffering and when it's just this anticipatory suffering, this self-generated suffering, and you can learn to reduce that, it's going to make your life a lot easier. It's going to reduce your overall suffering quite a bit, and make you feel more relaxed and happy throughout the rest of your life. And it is a daily practice. So my encouragement to you is that you think about this quote and notice yourself when you're getting stressed out, and try to make that a practice, a daily practice of differentiating those two types of suffering and trying to let go of the suffering that is unnecessary, that is self-generated. And in future video blogs, I'll talk more about techniques to help with this, because I know it's easier said than done. I fall victim to it myself. But here's that starting point. So remember that quote, "Our worst misfortunes never happen, and most miseries lie in anticipation," and try to make that a meditation. This is Dr. Mike Brooks, licensed psychologist and director of the Austin Psychology and Assessment Center, or ApaCenter. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you soon.